So, let me go to my channel. My videos. Why can't I post the stream?
Coming on this SOS.
This is not.
But we are recording.
Nah, that's rooms. Seriously.
Okay, for some reason, can somebody look up my channel, get the link, and send it to me in a DM? Yeah, thank you.
Send it to you now.
Right.
Oh, it's working at least.
So can you turn off the master volume down all the way?
Huh?
Can you turn the master volume down all the way? In your DayZ menu settings?
Oh, yeah. Why?
Sorry, the music's just super loud.
The music is stopped now, it should be.
Okay. I'm just here for technical support. Alright.
Alright, cool. Lee's here. Awesome.
Hi.
Hello. Right, cool. Right, cool. Oh, my heart is going. But sure, look it, fuck it. Let's just do what we can here. Great, I have a stupid face in the thumbnail. Perfect. Typical. Oh, right. Oh, give everybody a couple of minutes to filter in, I guess. I'm gonna have to have a look at the stream on my phone. Can I get a mic check? 1 2 1 2 from everybody.
1 2 1 2.
Can I get a mic check? 1 2 1 2 from everybody.
1 2.
1 2 1 2.
Can I get a mic check? 1 2 1 2 from everybody.
1 2.
1 2 1 2.
It's just gonna keep fucking doing that. Alright, okay. I'm just gonna trust that we can hear everybody. Hello, Riley Sorrow. Who's that? Who is that?
Hello.
Okay, so we have viewers. Awesome. Oh shit! 6 viewers, guys! Oh my god, this is more than I've ever had. I'm regretting this. Okay.
Welcome to the stream. Everyone.
Yeah, welcome to the stream, everybody. Okay, this is... I shouldn't have... Okay, let's just hop in the server. Okay. So, no, Justin,
Right.
how'd you get... Just talk to chat. This is for staffs. I didn't even know he was in this party. Is it?
Yeah.
Fuck. Alright, okay.
Make a special one.
Yeah, I should make a special one, alright, okay. Hold on. Technical difficulties, I'm afraid, folks. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna have to get you guys as friends as well. I feel bad. I will have you on later just when I'm ready. Like, you know, we're not at that portion of the stream yet. Okie doke. Right, I'm gonna make a new party. Give me a sec. Okay, and then I'm gonna invite Jacket Diamonds as well. So for everybody watching, we have 7 people watching now. That's awesome. Thank you so much for coming. We are going to, I can't fucking see what server that is. We are going to be describing some of what we're planning for the rest of the year, I guess. What we're going to do now instead of what we have been doing, and where things are hopefully going to go. Now, look, nothing is set in stone. Everything is up for debate, and like, we are probably going to take a lot of suggestions, but to be totally honest with you, we did that. We implemented a bunch of suggestions that we got, and everybody still quit playing, so we're just gonna probably do what we want to do now for the next little while. Oh, server's shutting down, typical. Okay.
I was gonna warn you, but I thought it'd be more fun if I didn't.
You bastard. Oh, I gotta get Crypto back in the party as well. Okay, let me see. Crypto invite. So, yeah, for the record, we have me, Skinz, Jack of Diamonds, and Crypto here. You can ask us anything. Like, we really are gonna answer any questions that you have. Don't mind what it is, but just for a recap, if there's anybody actually watching who hasn't been on the server, I could have actual fans watching this, you never know. But we are the staff team on Shadows of Survival, which is a roleplay server. It hasn't been going swimmingly lately, and we're going to try and fix it or do something new. The plan at the moment is that we're going to have it like nearly like a small D&D session, like a Daisy roleplay D&D type thing. As far as I'm aware at the moment, Crypto is going to be doing lore, and it's going to be mostly us, the staff team, and a couple of our friends who are still around and still want to play, and we're going to act like we don't know anything and let Crypto build our world. And that's all I want to do, because all I ever want to do is roleplay. I don't care about server population. I don't care about anything other than role-playing. So the best thing that we've been able to come up with at the moment is that we are going to play a small group of survivors that all know each other. We haven't solidified the backstory yet. Skinz reckons that we should all be on a boat for the duration of everything that's happened so far. So that's like including the first session with the tech stuff, second session with penumbra stuff, and probably skipping past the third session that has failed and going straight into the next one. Have we decided that we're going to be on Livonia, lads and lassie?
Not yet. I think Doug's keen on keeping Cherno, and basically picking up from where we left off.
Mm-hmm.
But with like a time period skip of some description.
Okay.
Which
And
would explain why everyone's missing, like dead, and we would be the core survivor group that's left, trying to survive in the world.
What'd you say, Crypto?
Said it would be like a whole new story.
A whole new story entirely. We're not going to keep like the penumbra stuff or anything. I have fucked up my TV.
For your characters, it would be like a new story.
Oh, right, okay. So it's still the same world from the previous two parts.
But for whatever reason, we would have no idea of the current events that's occurred in the area.
Yeah.
I haven't fully decided yet. It really would depend on what the engagement's going to be.
Like,
I guess we'll find out after we have this. After today, see what.
it's going to be like probably 6 to 12 of us ish. Like, it's going to be small, so plan for that, I guess. We have a couple of comments now, so let's have a look.
I imagine it to be like its own kind of self-contained storyline.
But still in the same world from what we've been doing so far. Or totally different.
might keep some elements of it.
Okay. Right. Boom asks, what's the timeline on this new thing happening?
What, for the beginning?
Yeah.
Well, due to the time period that we're in, we were...
Whoa, no, I went into game chat, I'm so stupid.
But hopefully before then. There is no actual date on it just yet.
Yeah.
We're still in the setup discussion phase.
Mhm. I think we're all kind of wanting a little bit of a break from everything for the time being. Like, we're kind of exploring different servers and seeing what's going on. I kind of do think Livonia would be really interesting. We've got two different people that say that as well. Smitty and Cheeky both agree that Livonia would be interesting and or cooler. The Meat Man lives on, maybe. Meat Man? Did I meet the Meat Man? Did I? That rings a bell.
Yeah, I think I know it.
Smitty Blacklung, probably, isn't it? Is it Smitty?
You guys know that I'm a big champion of a session on Livonia.
Yeah.
Yeah, Livonia's grown on me since Copa and the pub. Don the Meat Man, yeah, okay, we met Don, who's all genius. Yeah, so I mean, it'll just be friends. We're planning on keeping the whitelist off, aren't we?
For the moment, yeah.
Yeah.
When we go to this roleplay session, then we'll want to likely bring it back on for the time being. So we're not KOS'd and interfered with so much.
Right.
Want it to be as really realistic as possible. With the roleplay as realistic as possible.
KOS is pretty realistic, man.
It is.
Isn't it? You know, and it doesn't actually happen like that often, even unofficial. It's kind of rare that you even run into anybody, but I suppose if we're going to be streaming, it's going to be...
If you're streaming, it's going to immediately get people that wish us harm to corrupt and destroy whatever we try to do.
It'd be hell.
So that's why we're looking for people that are interested in trying something that's I keep saying realistic, but yeah.
Ambitious.
Yeah. Ambitious, difficult. Yeah, like I'm up for it being as difficult as all get out. Do you think we could all be on the same group, or should we have like two?
Yeah, as we all know each other, and we're a group of survivors. That's my ideal of it, and we're just trying to survive in a world that we know nothing about. That literally know nothing about. Like, I want to see the first reactions when you, like, if we step off the ship, right? I was imagining us on a cargo ship, transporting aid, and for whatever reason there was a mutiny on board, or there was a vote with the captain, and they decided to turn their transponders off and hide out at sea and not land, because if they land, there's a good chance they're going to get in trouble with the infection. We're safe on board, boys. We'll stay out at sea. For whatever reason, the engines fail. They die, they blow up, they're broken beyond repair. So now they're just adrift at sea. A storm comes in which blows us onto shore. And now we're stuck on shore because we're beached. So we now have to survive in this world we know nothing about for the last year, 2 years, all we've known is peace aboard the ship. And now we don't know anything. We're not armed, we're not equipped, we have to basically pretend like it's real. Like, we don't know where we are, we don't know what country this is, we don't. That's if we go the ship route. I mean, obviously Crypto's the law master, so he might decide something a little bit different. So we're all good role players. That's the thing. We're all good role players. We're dedicated role players, and we take it seriously. So I'd like to see really how far we're willing to push that envelope.
Yeah.
We've all said we can role play by ourselves, yeah, or
Yep.
we can role play with the wall.
Mhm.
But can you role play in a world where you are literally the only surviving human beings left anywhere? It's you versus the environment, but the environment we want to create, it will be extremely difficult. Like I said, we're not armed, so if we've got 2-3 times the amount of normal zombies, which would be more realistic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in there, yeah, and where there's only a small percentage of players that we're more than likely going to get to participate in this, we can up the environmental hazards with the wolves. Now we had good wolves in this session.
Good is a subjective term, but yeah, we had a lot of wolves.
A lot of wolves, and it made you take the environment more seriously.
It made me a lot better at killing wolves.
Yeah, but you can only do so many things in DayZ to make the environment more hazardous. So then it comes down to how does the role player wish to portray the hazard. When we done the bunker, when Crypto made the bunker, and at first I was like, I don't know, I've been to prison, no one likes prison, everyone wants to get out of prison. I watched it go through, and we see it happen, and it was genius, because the experience they got, they was trapped in this dark box, they had no idea what was going on the outside world, who had what the moment that the doors opened, and they saw daylight, I see someone break down and cry because it was raining.
Yeah.
And that is brilliant, because that's what you would do if you've been locked in a box in a dark box for 5 years, and you come out into the rain. You can you know what I mean? That's like being born for the first time. And then I watched someone else encounter their first zombie, run around screaming, not knowing what to do whilst being attacked, and everyone else had to save their life because they was acting stupid. They was pretending they didn't know what a zombie was because they'd been locked in a box.
Yeah.
And that's impressive. Like, that's immersive, and I'd like to see how far that can be pushed.
Yeah, there was a contingent of people who were very bored in there. I was personally never bored, but like I am infamous for staying in one place and not moving once I get comfortable. So like, you know, I don't really need a lot to entertain me, so just trying not to kill Teddy was entertaining enough, to be totally honest with you. And like the interplay of everybody, like I thought it was really interesting. Like, you know, it was a big enough area that there was like different conversations going on. Like everybody had like little bits and theories and stuff like that. And the cabin fever aspect was something that we actually wanted to do. And I know people were like, "Oh, but it was boring." And it's like, that was kind of the point. It was kind of supposed to be boring. It's supposed to drive you a little nuts. It's supposed to make you think like, you know, oh God, I have to get out of here, like, oh, and get into the character and blah blah blah. And some people get it, some people don't. Whatever, you know what I mean? It's not for everybody. Not everything is for everybody.
It's a lot slower paced. I think it's kind of jarring for some people that are used to things
Being like,
moving
yeah,
at
loot, kill, etc. But like, not everybody is like that, and even still, some of them were bored. And I think, like, you know, we got some comments that like there could have been more puzzles to figure out, and there could have been this, and there could have been that. And yeah, there could have been. That is really good ideas. We'll take that on board, and if we do another cabin fever thing, we will definitely put in more puzzles. But we didn't this time. And it put a lot of people off, or it at least became one of the things that accumulated and made people put off, which is a shame. Makes me sad.
We was trying something new and something that hadn't been done before, and I can only applaud Crypto for actually making that a reality. Like, and
yeah, like
it was a big change early on, because some of the stuff that we had planned with the bunker really heavily involved
Salas
character and that character, and then him getting killed off early on, and then we had to pivot to Tina, which is great because people really liked it. But for me, I felt like the bunker, aside from those things that I wish I would have known a little bit sooner about some things that people felt about it, for me early on, the whole purpose was establishing a dynamic earlier on within the player base of the people that were in and the people that were out, and seeing what was going to come of that, because it was a lot more. My approach to it was a lot more like kind of like sociological and like
Psychological.
giving players, yeah, but being a little bit ahead and giving players some options to work with, whether they knew that they were there or not. And that was, I think one thing that I probably would have done better with it, with the concept as a whole, and that's something that worked on a bit lately with some of the restructuring I've done with the lore and the process and the dynamic lore process, is making some of those options more transparent, like how it works.
Yes, having it nearly like a menu where you can see, like in Skyrim or whatever, where you bring up, like, you know, this is your main mission, this is what you have to do for main mission, these are your side missions, this is what you do for side missions.
I figured people would catch on after a while. People didn't catch on as quickly as they would have.
Some people did.
Yeah, no. Some people did, but I think a lot of that was a little too late for a majority of folks that didn't realize that, okay, that's how it was going to work, because it took a minute. But then too, we were learning.
Yes, we've never done this before. Like, well, I've run a server before, but I haven't run an RP server like this before with something so complex. One of the problems that I did notice was that I'm knocking my camera. One of the problems that I did notice was that even myself, because I am an idiot and I have the memory of a goldfish with Alzheimer's, and I'd have these conversations with people and I'd get clues and I'd this and that and shit, and I'd remember loads of it, but then some stuff that I'd completely forget, like Kay is Esme's fucking brother. Like, I forgot that for the longest time. It was so annoying. I think you were actually there, Crypto, when I told Gunnar, and he was like, oh, well, we could have done with that information, you know, like Gunnar, like fucking idiot. And so I was like, yeah, we could have done with that information, but like, I just do not remember everything, and I could do with stuff being written down. It does just help, you know. So we're going to make that a lot clearer.
I got him.
Who'd you get?
A lot written down.
Volpe thing's over there. He's walking over there by the church. I'll show it from here. It's a good shot, isn't it?
Nice. I can't do Jackie right now. It's not happening. Yeah, nice. Got him. We might do a bit of target practice in a minute. But yeah, so just having stuff written down. And like, I mean, I think if we just like, I'm never ever going to care about population. If I have one other person to role play with, I'm really happy. If I have to role play on my own, I can stand it. I really can. I enjoy playing Daisy enough, especially when the environment is difficult. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoy this game. It's my favorite game. It's why I fucking play it all the time. So yeah, we'll just do it no matter how teeny weeny it is. I just want to live in Crypto's world, man. That's all I want to do, is just fucking figure out like what is in all those like fucking 20 pages of notes he writes a day. You know? That's all I want to do. And like, if people are about it, it'll be great. You know? Like, if it's literally just us, like us four, Boom will probably join in.
We've had some positive feedback. A few people have put their name down or said they would be interested in participating in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I've got hopes that it will be quite interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I want to hear people's questions. See what they.
Nobody's asking any questions in the chat currently that we haven't answered, but please do ask if you have anything, or if you want to take the piss of me or slag us off or anything. Just go ahead. The floor is open. Happy enough.
We're gonna be taking callers in.
We can take callers. Oh, Boom asked. Yeah, Shadows of Survival RP answered that. I think that was Jack of Diamonds.
Timeline on the new thing.
No, he asked, will us Skins, Jacko, Crypto be streaming it? And I'm going to be streaming it for sure.
Oh, I answered that. I said I imagine
Yeah,
some
I
of it
know,
would
but he
be
didn't read it.
episodic and
Yeah.
some things would be streamed.
Yeah, I'm not great with the episodic stuff, to be totally honest with you, because it's just too much time. I just don't have the time for
I've
editing.
not actually streamed myself before, but I'll give it a go, yeah.
It's dead easy. All you have to do is have a YouTube account and link it to your PSN. Like, it walks you through it in the menus. For whatever reason, on my Wylandry account, it shits itself every time I get to the point where it's actually supposed to start up. It just goes in an infinite loop. And I managed to get it working on Jackie here, so...
Banned.
Banned? Did I get banned? Yeah, I probably got banned.
Banned from YouTube.
Yeah, possibly. How will the loot be? Loot's gonna be fucking punishing. I don't want to see a gun for like months.
That's not true. Don't say that.
Oh, what? All right. Well, loot will be accessible probably as always by following
All
the
medieval
story.
weapons. All crossbows and swords.
Yeah, cool. No, I'd say like once people do events and missions and shit for crypto, they'll get guns. That's how it'd be.
I
Just
want
rocks
people
and
to find
sticks.
stuff. I like the I still like the idea that anything's available to be found. It's just if it's in the world, it's just not in the best condition. But
Yeah. So, like,
Yeah, ammo should be hard to. I think should be hard to find because
everything
guns,
should be
they
hard to
don't-
find.
If they're indoors or in a tent or in a shed, they won't rot too badly. But the bullets, they will be shot a lot.
Mitty says, "What about food?" My theory on food is that canned goods and perishable foods should be up in the beginning and then slowly taper off as you push people towards sustainability, like farming and hunting and things like that.
Yeah, spawned in food is for pussies. I agree.
Yeah, I'm imagining we'd have to grow or hunt it or fish it, and rely on or find stashes of food. Like,
Oh, yeah, that'd be actually a really cool little one to do.
like if we come up out of underground or land on the ship and that, the world wouldn't be sustainable for us. We'd have to make our own way. Like, I'd like to be able to have to make our own way in the world rather than rely on building up a crate full of tin bangs or something. We have
Hunting, fishing,
hunting,
farming.
fishing. Yeah, it's
It
realistic.
should feel like a natural progression as things get scavenged out of the world. You'd want to become more self-sufficient. Boom says, "What do you folks think of the idea of a no guns at all concept?" I
love
like
it.
it. I don't know if players would be down for it. It's
What
a really
fucking
niche
players?
thing.
What players? We have no players.
That's the thing. It's like,
It's just us
Yeah, but
now.
I'm talking about it from
From a growth mindset.
conceptually.
it would be nice.
I have always had the plan. I would love, like, this was my pitch on the old server, 100-year time jump, and technologies regress back to like medieval.
Yeah. And we all speak like Bo. Just fucking tribal folks.
Then, but I froze.
That
the
would be the way that
What the
no
wanna?
guns concept would work.
I think it'd be brilliant. I'd be so down for a melee only. Like I'd be so totally down for that. I really don't give a shit. Like, I'm not the worst shooter in the world, but I'm definitely very far from being the best. And I very rarely shoot anybody. I've shot Boom, but that's about it.
See, again, realistically, in a realistic zombie apocalypse, you wouldn't be using guns because they'd get you killed, and they'd be one that you would kill.
Yeah, and you
You'd
know,
have to rely on quiet tactics.
yeah.
Or traps, setting up traps and encouraging the infected to go to a certain area so you can pass through it. But like, not just standing on the car. That annoys me when I see the game. Like, many times I've seen they get zombies and everyone just goes, oh, wait there. And they jump up on the car, shoot their gun off, call them all in and then kill them.
For certain characters, it does make
Are
sense.
you saying you wouldn't do that in real life? Because if that was a thing in real life, I'd probably definitely be doing that.
It is an efficient way of doing it, but realistically speaking, ammo should be so rare and so precious that you don't do that. And I have cleared whole towns with just a knife. You know, like, and I think, and it's exciting when you do that as well. Like, this is what I mean about RPing on your own. Like, if you RP that every zombie is a real zombie that can really, really kill you, it's a lot of fun just playing the base game on your own. You know what I mean? Like fucking Daisy and Serpico used to fucking clear towns with just crossbows and just knives, sometimes just knives. And every single town, like this whole thing of like needing an M4 so you can go in and fuck up a whole town full of zombies is just like, dude.
I mean, it is fun.
It's fun. It's fun. I agree. I agree. But again, like, what kind of fun are we trying to encourage here? Like, I want realistic roleplay. I want people who act like it's real. I want people to fucking behave as though every bullet could be the last bullet that you ever shoot, you know? Like, I don't know. I just think people take it for granted that it's a game and aren't actually role-playing. And I'm willing to fucking have it so that, like, you know, there's just barely anybody on the server except for only people who are taking it that
really,
seriously.
It's just on us to articulate it and explain that.
Yeah, but come on, Crypto. Like, how many times have we tried to explain things to people who are just not fucking listening and will never listen? You know, like.
Well, that's what we talk about. We're talking about people that get it and people that don't get it.
I just want the people that get it. That's all I want.
Well, that will build, but I think us doing this will give people more of an idea what we're talking about. Because what we're used to playing, and the way roleplay isn't really what we're talking about doing. This is more like a make-believe Second Life, not a game. To pretend.
Yes.
To be taken like it's life or death. It's real. Like obviously, I've brought up about only having one life with the group.
Yeah.
So if you lose a member, it's a big deal for the membership. It's also a big deal for the player because if you die, you're not part of the group anymore, which means you're out of this game. You maybe spawn. We haven't discussed how we're going to introduce new players that want to come and join because the server. But they could maybe have a spawn somewhere completely different on the map. Obviously, meta rules. You can't make out that you know us or know where we are or what. But you'll get on with your life somewhere else on the map. And if we encounter each other, then it's scary. It's real.
Yeah. It's a random encounter, a legit one.
You thought you was the only one alive, so you died. But that one's not a zombie. Like, it'd be interesting to see how people pull that off and how far people will get immersed into that.
Yeah, I'm fucking balls out, man. I will absolutely, I don't know. I wanted to say that Boom suggested. So this kind of ties into the one life thing. Boom suggested, what do you guys think of a rule where if you get knocked out by zombies, you're bitten and have to RP out that you will turn? I love that.
We talked about doing something like that for session 2.
That's pretty good.
It's good, isn't it? If you get knocked out? Yeah, I love that.
We done on ST, we done the NPC infected and
yeah, you're really good as an NPC infected. Scared the living bejesus out of me that time down the coast, man. Let me know when you can open doors.
That's all I wanted to do when I started this year, was just run around screaming at people like that.
I know, yeah. I know. Look at you now. Justin says, I wouldn't mind less guns. Using crossbows would be more used and people would be forced to use their surroundings to their advantage. Yeah, exactly. It's just more interesting overall, I think.
It's petrol.
But yeah, the one life rule. So like, say, so we all are the base group. It's just us, like us buds, like you, me, Jack Diamonds, Crypto, Dougie, Num, if he's ever around at the same time as us, and whoever else. And it's just us. So all environmental threats are deadly. That's wolves, bears, zombies, gas, anything. All deadly. Like dead. You're dead, Dave. And then,
Dave.
but like, do we then have to sit it out and wait, or like, can you come back as somebody else? Do you think? Make a new character, like, obviously with no contact or no memories, or like, should there be like a?
You just re-roll to a new character.
I would think so, but I think Skinz was talking about like a timeout period or something a while ago, like something like you're suspended for 5 days or shit, like something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was an idea, just to somehow try and emphasise the seriousness of things.
Mhm.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they re-roll because they're bored, and they're only bored because they're not. They're finding it difficult. It's not that they're not. They're finding it difficult to push something or to change the direction of their character. So they, instead of trying to go somewhere with it, they re-roll all the time, and there's no real consequences for your death apart from loss
24 hours, 48 hours.
They either don't. They either re-roll too fast or whatever, and they're just back and every character is the same, or they don't re-roll at all and they sulk until the season is over. A lot of people just can't handle it when their first character of the season dies. And it drives me nuts. I'm like, why are you not like, I don't know. Whenever I die, I'm like so angry. I'm like, I have to make a new character right now. You know what I mean? Like, and that's where some of my best characters have come from. Or do you know what? Those moments where I'm like, oh, I don't think I can make a new character. And then I make something, usually something silly, that just usually just takes off, and like fuck's sake, like Alana was a character like that. I made Alana after Amelie died, and I didn't really give a fuck what happened to her. But like, it just ended up being one of the most fun characters I've ever done in my whole life. You know? It'd be great. I don't know, like, but maybe a cool off period, like I don't even think like 24 hours. I think like 5 days or something like that. Like, make it pretty harsh.
That's so long.
I know. Well, you see, the thing is, I don't mind a 5-day cool off period as long as I die on a Sunday. Do you know that kind of way? But yeah, I think it'd be too far. But I don't know. It might, if you have it so that like people can't re-roll for a few days, maybe they'll be like, instead of like quitting and sulking for the rest of the season, they'll be like, oh, fuck this, oh, I can't re-roll for 5 days, oh, no, and then as soon as the 5 days are up, they'll be like,
2 days, and you're
all right, okay.
Raffle says, I feel the best middle ground for having a cool off time is a day. If people have to wait longer, they're not going to want to hop back on the server. That's the key. Yeah, like people are
so
look. People are look. If you lose a character, right? If you have a character you've been playing for a month, if you lose it, you're probably going to take a day off anyway. You're going to be it's going to take a day off.
I can't remember their name on YouTube, but they was playing a server on PC. If I had PC, I'd love to play it, but it's one life. If you die, you're banned. You can't never play the server if you're banned. And I think that is a game I'd really like to test myself, because I'm good at DayZ. I can survive. I can sit next to you in a bush and you wouldn't know I was there. That's a move. Yeah. And just to see if I was capable and how many days I could survive that. It was
yeah.
And
Days.
Yes. 48 hours. Because you're gonna take a day. You're gonna take a day of a break, and then and the next day, you're going to be like, okay, I'll get on. I got to wait another day. Man, I got to think next time.
Yeah, all right, 2 days then. Oh, I just think people are so touchy, man. People are turned off by like the slightest thing, and I can't relate because I'm so fucking stubborn. Like every time I die, I just want to play more. Anytime anything doesn't go my way, I want to play more. Like I will stay around in an environment that I despise for 2 years and try and fix everything until I eventually get fucking pissed off. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm just too stubborn. I can't relate. Yeah, well, I mean, like, I don't know if I'm exactly a masochist though. I think I'm just stubborn. I'm just too fucking pig-headed to let shit like that get me down. I get annoyed. The thought of allowing shit like that to get to me would make me feel like a pussy, and I just don't want to feel like that. And you know, I don't want to look like that. I don't want to be that. I'm just too stubborn. I immediately get straight back up on my feet and keep fucking rocking. And I think that's like survivor shit, man. Like I don't know. I really want to call people out because like the sulking thing drives me nuts. And as well as that, do you know what drives me nuts as well is the people stewing silently and not saying anything to us. You know? Like, although to be fair, we did have the fucking ideas suggestion turned off for a while, which might have been a lot to do with that.
The last time we set fire to everything, so people ain't really wanting to say anything. I've got to be honest and say it on their part because they're probably reluctant to, but there's a reluctance to speak in case they get punished for it.
Yeah, but we don't punish people for valid criticism. We punish people for hashtag free XYZ names and stupid petty comments in the fucking chat.
That's the thing within the community, because it's an old community, the roleplay community. I still regard myself as a baby to me, Judy, and we're new to it. I still say that, but it's set in its ways, so there's set behaviour, and they know that if it does kick off, it kicks off. Everyone has to say their little bit and get their comment in, and it's uncontrollable. And what we've tried to do is keep control of that and concentrate on the game rather than.
Yeah.
And it's all new for everyone. It's new for us. It's new for them. It's new. Good.
Yeah. I think people don't really realise that we are actually quite approachable as well. Like, I want to hear every valid criticism. You know what I mean? Like, because they give me ideas. Like,
yeah.
I'm a hard ass when it comes to stupid things, but if you've got a real valid comment or criticism, I want to hear it. So, like, you know, I don't want people to think that we're always just going to do everything our way. Like, especially if things aren't working. Like, we clearly are willing to make a huge, big change if shit doesn't work. So, let us know all this stuff. Don't stew in silence and, you know, bitch about us behind our back kind of thing. Say it to my face. Fucking pull up. Like, you know what I mean? Say it to my face so I can do something about it. You know? Like, I'm not going to fucking punish you for not liking something.
I'll tell people lore stuff all day if they ask me.
Mm-hmm. The man can't be stopped. Like, he cannot be stopped.
7 days a week to us on Sunday, does he?
Yeah, because we only see him on Sundays and Wednesdays, so he has to get all the other days worth of shit out.
I think it's gonna be fun if we do it.
It'll just be like a small, like a D&D session. Like, how much fun do people have with like 3-4 people, like just playing D&D? Like, like this is just a world. It's just a world. The people that you're with are what makes it fun, and like we all have fun together. We don't really need that many other people. The only thing is the availability for crypto, because a lot of us can see each other a lot of the time because we're on GMT. Crypto doesn't get on till late a lot of the time, but then he'll have Boom and maybe Justin and God knows who else who actually signs up and sticks around for it.
It would be nice if the group was spread out over different time zones as well as big ones, so we can all get together on the weekend. Because I'm envisioning if we've got to go on little group outings, and me and Julie here, we're going on a run somewhere we've seen on the map, we're heading this way, and we'll go off on our own little adventure. We'll be making our own stream and that. You lot will be on your little adventure back at camp or gathering material somewhere else where you've decided to go.
Yeah.
And then after a period of time, we all return to the camp, if we manage to return, that is.
Yeah.
And then we get to meet up. Like, it would be a realistic situation.
Yeah, we wouldn't all be like clung to each other all the whole time.
Oh, nah. We'd have to separate at some point. And I really hope that other people will decide to join the game. And obviously speak with Crypto, create your own group, have no knowledge of what's gone on, where we are, whatever, and we can encounter each other at some point. And that, I would like to see how that dynamic would work. Because you've got the group dynamic of who's in charge, who's submissive, who's just a doer, or
who's the people person, who's the loner.
People person. We've got to find these dynamics within our own group, and then how will that affect us when we're dealing with other groups? Because in normal RP situations that we're used to, everyone sets up their group with their friend group and that. They all gear up, they all arm up, and then they go to war. There is no real... I haven't been in that many groups to say, but there is no real character development inside the group because everyone's already got their power dynamic from previous situation, iterations and whatever.
Yeah.
To see that if we're all literally pretending that we are the real person, how would that affect us?
Well, if it's just us at the start and we're all streaming, then like I'd say we'll probably pull in more people from streams and stuff like than from the existing pool of players that we have.
That's what
like,
I'm hoping for.
We have some question in the chat from Daisy Friendly. Can you explain the announcement that was posted earlier? I think in a roundabout way, that's kind of what we're doing right now, is talking about ideas that we're throwing around for making the world a little a smaller group of everybody and making the world a little more dangerous.
Yeah. We're going to basically turn the server into what we like to play because we're the only people that are playing it still. And, y'all can come along if you want to. If you want to hang out.
Spawn point would be the same for everyone near a shipwreck. I think that's one of the ideas that he was talking about, if they started on a ship.
Yeah, our little group will at least start on a ship, but it depends on like when people join. Like if you join at the start, then you'll be on the ship with us and whatnot. But if you join later on, you might have a different spawn. And we can even theoretically we can have like unique spawns and whatnot. That's a bit of work and a bit of coordination, but it all depends on what people want.
Raffle says, one thing you guys are going to have a big issue with is people still holding grudges about ST like Daisy players. Can't let go, treat it like it's high school drama. High school drama and interpersonal things are always going to be an issue. I think people have been more than transparent about what happened with ST and continue to be, but I'm more focused on moving forward and making a story and getting people invested in the game and having fun. I'm not as bothered by people's interpersonal issues unless it obviously...
Like, we're not even the same group that ran with ST. We're by far nowhere near the same group. Like, I didn't even know. I think
always going to be a thing.
I think I spoke to He Who Shall Not Be Named like twice in person. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm
from the original ST lot, so I don't have to direct.
Yeah, but how long were you mates with them though? Like, how long were you friends with those?
ST, I wasn't friends with them
from the beginning of from the beginning of ST, but like that's still only like less than a year.
Or
no, I don't give a fuck. I forgive everybody everything.
In the community, even if I've argued with them at one point, I wish them all the best. I'm only trying to, like we all are, just trying to play the game and make a server that's fun to play. So if they do have grudges, I hope they'd let them go because I haven't got any. I won't hold them either because I'm only here to play a game. It's not real life.
The only time that I ever hold a grudge is if somebody has treated me badly and has no intentions of not doing that in future. You know what I mean? Like if I get treated badly, then it's hard for me to forgive that. You know what I mean? Like if I get treated badly or if somebody behaves inappropriately or if somebody just continually breaks rules, like I'll hold that grudge. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
be around that. I have cut out a lot closer people to me than like some random internet stranger who's a dickhead to me, and I just don't want that kind of person on the server. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody's a dickhead, get out. Like,
Daisy
I
Friendly says, would everybody be in one RP story? I don't think everybody would be in one group. I think this is just presupposing that we'd be like restarting with a smaller group of people. But obviously, people would have their own characters, stories, groups.
Yeah, depending on the population, like
The lore
it'll
and events would go with one
change.
story that involves everyone. Yeah, basically, it'd be. I'd just make a new self-contained story. world.
Or people can bring their story and you can see if it fits and whatnot. Like,
But
See,
that's really how it's always kind of been. I never expected people to buy into the lore storylines, but people took to them really quickly. So I just kind of ran with it and created NPCs around it. I very much like seeing the things that players come up with, because they can come up with things that I would never even think about, or approach a situation in a way I've never even planned for. So I highly encourage people to.
Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it, bro?
Like the main story is supposed to just be like opt-in, and then things that you can just kind of discover, little backstory pieces and lore tickets. Like,
yeah.
except for big events, but people were engaging with it. We had fun.
I had loads of
most part,
fun.
I guess.
Yeah,
Really
I mean,
carried
there was
away.
some stuff that got messed up. Like, I'm really disappointed with how that ship event went.
A D&D type thing.
Yeah,
Well,
that-
so to go on, Daisy Friendly said, I thought you guys were talking about D&D. This is how I approach the game as the concept of the dynamic lore. Daisy is just the tabletop. We're running a game over the game. So I think of the creative team and the lore master, whatever you want to call it, as the DM, and then
We'll be
there's
the
just
players.
an overarching story, and then everybody else's stories fall within that.
See, I think you
I
meant
think of the
you
whole
playing
thing as
the DM and us playing the group of players.
yeah.
Game.
So y'all wouldn't be playing NPCs or any of that stuff.
Ah,
You're
we'll
just
be
players.
playing player, but we'll be a group of survivors in the world. So it's like you'll have what you have in D&D, like you got the wizard or the radio, whatever, medic. We'll each might develop or make our own sort of
Oh no, I get you.
element of the group, but I'm envisioning us playing it as a group of survivors.
We've never actually played as a group, have we?
Nah, a lot of us haven't.
I mean, I've been around yous and stuff, like, but we've never like set up ourselves as a cohesive group at the start and then ran with it, like, you know, that kind of way. Like, we've always either met each other or, you know, been around the pub or been around Nassau or whatever together, and we've seen each other, but this would be something fun. Copa, I suppose, but that's not everybody. Like, Crypto wasn't at Copa, and Boom wasn't at Copa, and
Tally says hi. Hi, Tally.
we love Tally.
But,
yeah, so we'll start out with just us, whatever, whoever signs up beforehand. We'll do it. We'll stream it. And if people like it, they can join, and they can either. I mean, it wouldn't make sense if we've been running already as a group together. It wouldn't make sense for them to join our group, so they'd have to be a different group, and they can be people that we run across randomly, like random encounters, whatnot. Oh, it's pro game.
Pro. Oh, baby bro, pro. Little bro. I'm crunching on chips. Excuse me.
I'll just
How
remind
fucking
everyone,
rude.
it is in the announcements where I put up about this little roleplay session. There's a bit there where you can put your name if you haven't already done so, if you are interested in joining the group.
Yeah.
Just a little reminder there, just in case you ain't seen that bit.
I wonder, could we make a role and a room for everybody who's signed up for that? That could be something we could do. I'm gonna write that down. Oh God, where's my pen? There it is. Also, Boom, my hair is not red, you fuck. It's just the lighting in here.
So I want to hear
Racist.
from the chat. What would you guys like to see a new storyline?
What, us or chat?
I think people liked. I'm talking to chat. Our viewers.
It'll probably be a split opinion because some people liked it and some people didn't, you know, like the spooky stuff. But that was like on theme for Halloween. I think people kind of thought that it was always going to be like that and didn't really get it. And anyway, it wasn't just all spook. There was like technical stuff to it as well, and it allowed us to play with the
paranormal stuff did come out way ahead of schedule.
That's not our fault. That was player generated.
Were happening, yeah. It all responds to what the players are picking up on and where they're taking it.
Scooby Gang shit. Sorry about that.
What people think of Livonia? Would you guys like to see Livonia?
I would be on for Livonia, yeah, I really would. We'd have to come up with...
Or if we stay on Chernarus, would you be adverse to having the play area be smaller?
No. Not at all.
I'm a big proponent of Livonia being a more manageable map for a smaller population.
Yeah, I'm not against it.
What would that serve, though, for having a smaller map? Because it takes a lot of the adventure away from it. And travel time as well.
It's still big enough, but it's more manageable from like a technical and like creative, like it's more manageable from my side of things, I guess you could say.
What about unlimited stamina?
Having unlimited stamina.
Yeah,
and you have more of a chance for people to meet each other.
Yeah, but that's not very realistic.
No, it's not. It's not. You can outrun zombies as well, so it definitely gives you an advantage.
I was on a server yesterday and I've done that. I was like, what is going on? I was out running it. I was leaving it behind. I was thinking, this ain't right.
Yeah, it's a bit nutty. I need a drink. I'm just going to be back in 2 seconds, so StreamYell can look at my chair for a minute.
DangerBoom says, curious to see how the current one played out. I'm presuming you mean the current session. Since there's no one currently on, will it ever happen? What is the general outline for ending the current story? Currently in the lore, we're still in the phase where people have the knowledge that Penumbra's ended, and there is a weapons platform that is the source of the airstrikes that cause the gas. So the Knights are there to facilitate helping people to learn how to stop that. And there's a storyline for the zombie outbreak. So that's all there for people to discover when they get on and get their bases built and get reinvested in the storyline. It's just waiting. It reacts to the players, so until people interact with it, it doesn't move forward.
Ratful disagrees about the witch stuff coming out too early, as it seemed it came out of nowhere and forced us onto the event as Zeleno happened, and it kind of dropped everything else. And we had to bear with it until the end of the season.
Yeah, the Penumbra thing in Zeleno when they blacked out the sun was supposed to be like a one-time, oh well, that's crazy foreshadowing event, and then right after that was when a lot of players hopped onto that quest line and knocked out a bunch of that stuff pretty quickly. So there was a push behind the scenes to try to push people back toward the tech storyline. It just wasn't playing out, and some people did get onto some things, but there were some technical issues that prevented some of that from being resolved, like people going to the dam to get that turned on. I didn't have a chance to answer to the ticket a resolution because I was waiting to hear back from the coders on something, so that was on me. It's a technical issue that I didn't realize until afterwards that it caused a bigger problem.
Like shit gets lost and forgotten, like you know that kind of way.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff that picks up, and then you're busy doing one thing, and I don't have a big team of people. It's just like me and like maybe one or two others from time to time.
That is the biggest issues we faced is the staffing issue, isn't it? Not having enough available at the.
That's an issue everywhere. That it really is an issue everywhere. Like I've encountered it on pretty much every server that I've ever been on. It's just impossible to find good help. You know what I mean? You can't really.
And it also too depends on what people are talking about. I was looking like if people are like talking more about like for example like penumbra stuff. Like if I'm looking through journals or like conversations and people are talking more about one aspect of the story and showing more of an interest in that aspect, then naturally that's something that's going to get highlighted a little bit more and kind of get a little bit more of attention than maybe another aspect of the story. So it's just kind of how it played out. Doesn't mean that I didn't notice it, and it doesn't mean that it does not bother me, because it does bother me.
We did open up the creative team applications and got quite a few applicants. So, I mean, if you want to join the team, you do have to actually read the Discord and see when we're having applications and apply. You know.
Well, we got some good people. It's just that our job, especially now that I've kind of stripped down the lore a little bit to be more on the players' stories, so that the main story's not such a big interference, I guess you can say, because it's got to be a balance. You've got to have a main story that people are aware of, that people want to engage in, but something that's not going to like completely drown out and make players feel like they are forced, that it's forced on them, or like it's a burden. And I think that's where it started to feel like a burden for some people, and I get like the sentiment from folks like Raffle that felt like there was a lot of pressure, or that it was, or other things were not at the forefront where they should be, or that people didn't get a chance to interact with some things, or taking out tickets wasn't as fruitful as they would have hoped. And a lot of that stuff is partly on timing and partly on lack of resources, and just partly on just not being able to keep up with that workload from time to time. So that's regrettable. But in streamlining everything and pulling all that away, now it's going to be more reactive to the players. But we just need people on for that to move, because I want to see the stories that people have, because we have a lot of good players, we have a lot of good stories, and that is where I think it would be better for the lore to react more to that, which a lot too had to do with it's a slower burn pacing, and so there was a lot of setup to be done over the first couple of parts of the session. And now at part 3, which was the part that I was like, once we get to part 3, all that setup is out of the way, all of that extra crap is set and established. Excuse me, my neighbors suck. But all of that stuff is established, and now it can go back to what people want in the terms of like, this is our story, this is our group, and then everything else is just random NPCs you encounter or little bits of background that happen through tickets or major events that happen like once or twice a month that are big story events. The faction will always be out in the world like the Knights, but they're not like it wouldn't be the way that Penumbra was like so woven into everything.
Yeah. They'd just more serve a function of you can get weapons and missions from these guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I heard a rumor recently that people were pissed off at all the stuff that we had spawned in at that castle. And to that I say, that stuff was for you guys. Like, I don't know.
Well, for your NPCs, I'll touch on it. Like, you have to get people to a certain location with items that they need. Like, it's not like you could just spawn up, okay, I'm going to search around for 20, 30 minutes, build up, and now I can activate my NPC. You've got to have a warehouse. You've got to be able to get people, like, clothing, food, like,
their
put a weapon on
uniform,
their back, so they look legit. Or
so
if
that they
they're
look like what they're
soldiers,
supposed to look like, and that they have what they're supposed to
You're not going to
have.
take soldiers seriously if they roll up and they're like, we're
Freshies.
You know, we're like a major army force with access to this technology that you don't know about. Like, nobody will take you legit if you just roll up in like cargo pants and like.
Yeah, and plus
and
as well,
it
like
too.
anything
Like,
that we spawned
NPCs
in.
are strictly like.
I'd say more like
NPCs
live
are
action
given
stuff.
clothing,
Wrong word.
a bottle, and a can of food, and if it's part of their character, a weapon or whatever they need. The rest they are on their own. If they have to be out in the world and find everything just like everybody else does. But NPCs have a specific purpose, so that's why they have a warehouse of things to get to places logistically, quickly, and fulfill their purpose.
Yeah,
It's
and
not,
to have stuff to give to players who
yeah,
play.
and it's a lot of trade gear and trade stuff. And for a long time, we were leaving cars stuffed full of stuff out on the map. So
I don't know, man. Ratful says that with how Daisy and other servers are, it's not always the best to have a slow burn plot, in my opinion. I would disagree.
Pacing, it really depends. It depends on the players too.
It depends on the players. It depends on the preferences of the players. Like I am all about the slow burn. Like when I start a character, I plan for that character to live like 3-4 months. Like, and I have, and like, you know, I don't want.
It's subjective to the player base.
Totally
some
subjective.
people like a slow burn. Some people like to have the objective laid out for them. Some people are kind of in the middle of the road. And when you're on this side of things, you kind of have to take all of that into consideration. And there's never going to be one thing that you're going to do that's going to fit everybody's playstyle, everybody's sentiment, everybody's opinion on things. You can only just kind of look at it and go, okay, well, there's a lot of times when when we implemented something that you know in a story, like, well, this is going to piss off these people, but these people will be happy. And then later on down the line, how do you balance that out? Like, if you take this out, what are you going to do with where are you going to put this at? And so it's something that you want players to be able to discover on their own, but you also have to kind of realize that not everybody's going to be that perceptive or get it. And so,
or even try to get it. Like, a lot of people like just don't even try to get it, and then they're pissed off that they don't know what's going on, and it's like,
it's a learning curve, and it's a progress, and you're always learning, you're always trying to adapt. My creative process is just kind of be as ambitious as possible and pull back and see what people are responding to. So I'm always interested in how people it's my job to be interested in how people are engaging with the story, and if they don't like it, then it has to change. Or, you know, but it's a collaborative effort. Like, I find that there's a lot of sentiment that, like, it's the staff and the players, and the staff have their thing and the players have their thing, and there's no, like, in between. And to an extent, that's true. There has to be like a a difference there.
But by
But
nature, there is.
I find like with roleplay, it's also on that side when you're talking about things from like creative and story and the world that people are living in. It needs to be collaborative, and you've got to like understand who your players are, and it's always going to be an uphill battle because console is just a different beast. It's a different mentality. It's a different style that people are used
Call
to.
of Duty players,
It's a different
isn't it?
demographic. Yeah, it's there's a lot of stuff that you could say is working against anybody trying to start a server, let alone an RP server. You know,
Mhm. Yeah,
we
and I think we are in the
face some
minority.
struggles
Like,
and issues that some people like that PC communities, for instance, don't have when it comes
yeah.
to like people quote unquote getting it, or how the style, their play style and their general it's all very subjective. But when you're running a restaurant, if you put everything on the menu that only you like or that only your friends like, then you're alienating, a bunch of potential customers. You kind of have to put a little something on the menu for everybody, hoping that, some people might not like it, but other people might. It's just a balance.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think now at this point, because we've been trying to balance it and like it just didn't fucking work, I think we've all said behind the scenes that we're going to make a server that we want to play. And I was just going to say, like, we are in the minority. Like, we want it difficult. We want no guns. We want things to be as hard as possible. We want, like, we want pure RP. We want it to be organic. We don't want, like, fuck around. We don't want to sit around a campfire forever. Like, I mean, I will sit around a campfire, but I'll be RPing around that fucking campfire. I'm not just sitting there goofing off, like, that kind of way. I don't know. Like, also, fuck you, Joella. Sorry.
She says like that, she's sitting at the campfire.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I would, but we're
it's
discussing
all good.
shit. Whenever I'm fucking, hey, come on now.
Say it with a straight face, but she's wearing a mime mask.
Yeah. Mine.
Oh yeah, and Jackie, forgot about that. Right. So what did Boom ask? Because he's looking for an answer here. Are you talking about the fucking no stamina, so you can't even jump on cars?
But Wiley, you've got fans in the chat, I just noticed.
What fans? What fucking
Got fans.
Joella? Joella is barely even a person, let alone a fan. Pickle Dinos Joella. Sorry. Yeah, no, Boom. I don't think we're going to be going with zero stamina. If that's, I don't think anybody would enjoy that very much. Especially if we're going to be up in the zombies and up in the wolves and up in the bears and everything. Like, can you imagine?
We're most about playing RPG.
Yeah, so he said about don't force the story down people's throats or something. Well, that's the point of having the dynamic law. Is we were trying to get the players to play a role within the storyline of the server.
Like, I mean, if you don't want a story-based, lore-based server, then why are you here? There's some things where I'm just like, I just don't get it. I don't get what you people want, man. Like, I mean, this is like, we're making a particular thing.
Well, that's where I was going back to saying that you don't want the story to feel like a burden. You want it to be opt-in, but you don't want it to be like pressure. But the story, well, to that point, to say it in a nicer way, to that point, the story will always be there, and there are times where it's going to feel like there's going to be pressure on the group. But it goes to the players. If the players are interacting with it, and some people don't want to have to deal with it, and that's fine. But if it's a major faction or group, obviously if you're in that world, you're going to feel that. But you don't want people to feel like it's being forced on them. So that's something that.
But like, I mean, what are they here for if they don't want a fucking story?
Right.
Like, I don't get it. Like,
here. They happen to you.
Yeah,
Like,
stuff out of control, stuff out of your control happens
everyone
all the
loves
time.
Walking Dead, innit? But it won't. For instance, everyone loves Walking Dead, yeah. But it won't their decision to have a tank come flying through their prison wall. It happened to them, and they had to deal with it when it happened to them. And then these people were introduced to them, like everyone Walking Dead. It's not the Rick Grimes show. The cameras follow him around all the time, but it's everyone in the world that is part of the Walking Dead, and it's the world those people live in. They've got no say or choice of what happens to them, and that's what I think we was trying to get across and create that world that those characters live in. You'll have your own separate stories, but the reality of the world is everyone's shared reality. It affects everybody equally. They have to make decisions because of it. A lot of people did respond really well to it.
A lot of people loved it.
Didn't get it because it's not what they're used to, because it isn't the same as what they're used to. It's something completely different. It's a lot more involved, and it requires a lot more player participation than just picking up a book and getting a law document. Although that was an option for you, the same. It was posters. It was NPC quests and NPC interactions and information that you could gain from NPCs that would then lead you on to bigger and better things within the world, just like real life. Yeah, but it's very involved and and it's our first time trying it and putting it into, like, it's not Crypto's first time. He's the genius of this stuff, but it's our first time as a group trying to implement it for you guys, and it's your first time experiencing what we was offering, and it's difficult, isn't it? We tried that, and it's we learned from what stuck and what didn't.
Ratful says it's not what I'm saying. Don't make a story that caters to one group. Side stuff, yeah. When it comes to the main plot points, you got to go with the majority of people. But like there's often no majority. Like there's like all different groups. Like there was Gorkas, Zelenogorsk. Before everything else, there was like Kelm. There was ex-Bunkies. There was Scooby Gang. There was like lots and lots of different groups, and also we don't always know what the majority of people want, like and we're not catering to one group, or we weren't catering to one group. We had this all planned out before there was any groups. We had like big stuff that was going to happen, like we're going to black out Zelenogorsk, and these voids are going to start coming up more and more and more, and this is all like shit that everybody has to deal with. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, it was forced upon people, but like Skinz has said, like that's how you generate a story. You create external factors that people have to cope with. Maybe there's something I'm not understanding though.
And things you want to hit. So it's not it's not as scripted out or as like verbatim as people are kind of thinking it is. I guess it's more like, okay, these are some story beats you kind of want to push people to hit this here, but if this happens, then this happens. If that happens, then that happens. And you just kind of see where it's going to go depending on what the players are interacting with. What we had was kind of a situation where all the players were kind of in the same area, I guess you can say. So it kind of forced us to kind of focus on that hub area, and we could have kind of branched out a little bit. So I get that perspective.
Beautiful sky, isn't it? Look at that sunrise. Amazing. I knew it was real. Sorry.
So I think maybe we'll do one last call out for questions and stuff, because it's nearly 12 a.m. here and I have work in the morning. So if anybody has any other questions, or if because Ratful there, like I think I might be picking up something that wrong that he said. So if you guys have any more you want to say. Who is Hunter Rock? I have a feeling that's Bobby.
Sorry, I got a phone call. Alright, I'm back.
Running around doing things at gunpoint.
I think he's talking about Boss and Jackie.
Oh,
Cope, old man.
Oh, crazy.
Right, okay. I think if nobody else has any other questions, we might wrap it there.
Anyone got any suggestions other than questions for this new role play endeavour? This new storyline.
Suggestions, questions, ideas. People can always message me or take
Yeah.
a ticket and talk to me, or
Yeah, my DMs are always open. I might not always agree.
I'll explain anything to people because I know I'm not the best person to articulate some of these concepts because I get it. It's a lot. And like I have a hard time even trying to explain it to people because a lot of it is like once it's happening you'll understand it. So that's kind of where my that's my weak point there. So if anybody that watches this, if you have questions or want to understand something, let me know because I don't always get to see it or get told until like way after the fact. And I don't handle admin ticket stuff and all of that.
Yeah. He can't
So-
even see regular tickets. He can only see lore tickets. So if you want to talk to Crypto, you got to make a lore ticket. Or DM him, question mark? You open to DMs? I'm open to DMs.
I'm always down to talk with people about. I can nerd out about this stuff, and I'm happy to explain or help people facilitate things, or if you need help, that's what I'm there for. So I think that's one thing to impress on people is that there's a lot of like services from the lore team, creative team.
Yeah.
Like if you're having trouble finding something or need something or want to speak to an NPC or somebody's not available for a trade, take a ticket and ask. Like,
Don't just be pissed off about it and bitch about it without doing something, like
because that's what I'm there for. I'm there to make your experience better. So if you have questions about the story or not understanding something or how a mechanic is supposed to work or if something's pissing you off or you don't like how something's being done, let me know because I will bend over backwards 9 times out of 10 to try to like make it happen for you. So because it's my job to do that, and that's all I care about is making a story and being a good like a good DM for your campaign and whatever you're doing. And I love what I get out of roleplay is seeing people's being creative, and so like I will gladly not play 5 NPCs to let players have run of the world and just react to that, which is how it's supposed to work. And now that all of the story and the world building setup is kind of out of the way, it is everybody else's world. Like the knights and stuff, that's just there to explain why there is an airstrike, why this mechanic, like it's just explainers for game mechanics. That's really all it is. Everything else just reacts to people. So doors open, man. If you have questions or concerns or anything, or you want to tell me something sucks, I'm totally available for that.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about it.
Mhm. Joella asks, "Are we going to make the map smaller?" And we are definitely talking about Livonia. We're talking about it hard. And we're also considering closing off a lot of Chernaroos if we do decide to stay on Chernaroos. So it's likely that we will make the map smaller.
Yeah. I'm all for doing like a blank slate restart, let everybody kind of start on a on a new level. We've kind
Yeah.
of we've learned a lot of what we need to learn. I feel I have, like and from a
It was a
creative
massive learning
standpoint,
curve.
it feels natural to just say, okay, this uh, this kind of served its purpose. Now let's do this with a full understanding from everybody how we're going into it, and
Yeah.
go from there. So,
I
but
think if you think crypto, just like assume that it's just going to be us. You know what I mean? Like assume that it's going to be like 10 people. And do what you can with that. There's your brief. Off you go. I'm pretty sure that you'll do something pretty
Livonia
cool.
would
Like
be
I'm going to
goated, I
enjoy it.
agree.
Yeah,
I've
I
been
think
pushing for Livonia for a while now.
might be a good idea. Like there is still plenty to explore in Livonia. It's still a pretty big map. Like,
It's
and
mainly
if we,
fields. You've got
There is, and
Toppling,
I have.
Grabbing, and the other place, and
it's
everywhere else is pretty much fields and forests.
it's mainly fields
We
and
have
forests,
got
but that's a
plans for
blank slate.
Livonia in the future, but it would require a lot of modification.
Downtime and mods. Yeah.
Yeah, because Livonia as it sits, everyone raves about Livonia, and there's not a lot to do there.
Agreed.
Unless you're in those towns, those main towns. And
Mm.
as a closed role play like this, it could be all right because you might not want to have to do too much. But I'd like to see that map with a lot of stuff added to it, new
Mhm.
locations and whatnot to make it interesting.
Yeah.
It's I, that
Solid
that would
down.
take that
That's
would take a little bit more time than.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, listen, I'm easy either way. I would be happy with Chernaroos. I prefer Chernaroos because I know where I'm going on it. I know where I am.
I wish we had a whole new map to do it on.
That would be great. But
Like,
like, wish in one hand and shit in the other. Like, like kind of.
Livonia, Livonia.
and I'm working on Livonia. That is something that we'd like to do. I'd like to do personally. I know Doug would like to do Livonia at some point.
At some point, maybe we can start on Chernaroos and see how it
Well,
goes, and then maybe move to Livonia. Like, I mean, there's several ways that we can
You
close
also
off.
don't want to do Livonia.
Eh?
Maybe we'll just.
No, like I
No,
mean,
we're gonna
no,
throw
because
you into Livonia, and you're gonna have to suffer in an unfamiliar land.
I
It'll be
know
fun.
I
Come
really
on, it'll be
am
fun.
easygoing either way. Like I really genuinely am easygoing either way. I do think that it's pretty empty though, and I'd like to see it like modded to fuck with just tons of stuff to find.
Well, that's
Wish in one
that's what
hand
I'm
and shit in the
saying,
other. Yeah,
guys. We
we
can mod
can, but it's
things.
down to coder availability, and it's in the run up to Christmas now, and like Dougie's got a family. I don't know how available Gnome would be to
and
really
Doug
go
is a
nuts.
professional coder as well. Like he does this like for
That's
his
his
job.
job. Yeah.
At the minute, his availability isn't. He's not available. So it's till
Yeah.
after Christmas, really. Um, I know Num's
At the end of the
coding
day, it's really
well
gonna
with
come down to
coding.
probably like um, community vote or people what works
What
for.
community? It's
Possibly.
just
Yeah,
us. It's
that's the thing.
just us.
Everyone's stopped playing. Like,
Yeah.
we need the community we have got is great. I love them. Yeah, but unless they play the game, I, they can. I don't know what to say. And it like so we need to make a game that they're going to want to join into. We're just going to show it or find new players, advertise and find new blood because they're bored. They're bored. They come to this server, they get bored. They go to another server, they get bored. It's the same stuff, same people. We need to mix it up.
Well, this is what we're here for, right? This is why we do this
Mix
stream.
it up, yeah.
So it's for you, dear viewers, to rally together, bring your friends. If you want it, work with us and make it happen. Let's do it.
Yeah, Bobby says then expand your damn team if it comes to coder availability. We have 2 coders currently. We did have 3, and we might still have 3 if we go with this idea instead of a different one.
See where it goes.
Gonna have to see where it goes. Yeah, we have to see. And like, not all coders are the same either. Like, not everybody can do like everything that we necessarily need done, you know, that kind of way. So, and it depends. And coding especially is a very difficult
Time
position.
consuming.
No, it's a difficult position to fill because it requires so much trust. You know? Like, I mean, to give somebody access to the Nitrado is a big fucking deal. You know? I mean, although we can always have people that are kind of satellite
If you
coders that are
think you
doing their own
know,
stuff and
you
they can
think you
send
have
us
what
the
it
JSON
takes,
files. Yeah, if you
put in
know
an
somebody, if
application.
you think, yeah. Like, listen, as well as that, we don't necessarily have to put out applications. Like, we got our 3rd coder because he came to us in a ticket and was like, I can code. And we were like,
Showed
okay,
us what he could do.
showed us
And
what you
then
can do. Yeah. And then we talked to him in a party and, you know, like, got him on the team, you know? Yeah, we did Ratful. Yeah, we did do interviews, and we did do that. We do that. You know, so if you know a coder, tell them to make a ticket. I'm getting
the other
tired.
issue we've had is when we have put applications out and
Thank you.
gave people staff positions, they get the staff position and then stop doing anything.
Yeah, disappear.
It's like a badge. So to find people that are actually willing to put in effort has been difficult. Although we have found people that are putting in effort, so that I'm not putting anyone down, but there have been individuals that have joined and just disappeared,
And people have
evaporated. So that is another
priorities and
problem
life shit in a way.
within life, just getting
Whatever it
people
may
to
be.
do any work. Like, we've had people who have become creative team, and before that, when there was the NPC team, event team, they'll get the position and not do anything. It's
100.
hard.
This is us interacting with our players more. We're doing our best, man. Like,
You know, yeah.
We should probably do more of these if people.
I'd do this all the time. Yeah, I'll happily do this quite well, like quite a lot. You know, I really don't mind. Like, I like talking to people, and like, you know, if you want me to join your party, just send me a message as well. Like, I really don't mind. I'll hop in and I'll, you know, like, it's not like we're in our fucking ivory tower. We don't want to talk to anybody. It's just that we don't because we're busy. Or, you know, like,
Yeah, don't want to
nobody
intrude in on that.
don't want to intrude, or like nobody has told us that they have a problem, and they've let it stew for quite a long time, you know, like, so hopefully this gets the message out that we really are gonna try hard. Like, we really want to make this work. We're gonna do whatever we have to. Not Canada, man. You okay?
We just want to role play, and with this next endeavour with ourselves and whoever chooses to join the group, we're hoping to have good role play out of it either way.
Yeah, we will. Even if it's just us, I don't give a shit if it's just us. Like, I've said that all along. I really don't care. I hope that some more people come and join. And I think that, like, you know, if we really show it off and stream everything and, you know, do everything that we can, that more people will be like, yeah, yeah, sure,
And
I'll
just
give it a
have
go.
fun. Just have fun with it. We just have
Just
fun
have
with
fun
it.
with it. Yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck
See
yeah.
how far we can actually push the believability of the game.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to it. I have no idea what kind of character I want to play yet, but I'm really looking forward to it being super difficult and like an environmental deaths, meaning a perma. Like, that's cool. That's gonna be cool. It's so tough.
We'll probably
Love
all
it.
die by the first hold you watch.
Ah, no. Come on. I have more faith in us than that. I once killed 20 zombies with nothing but my shoe.
Yeah, what if we spawn nothing but mummies?
Oh, dude. If we can
There's
get the
been an
fucking things to
Egyptian
work.
curse broke out. Yeah. Someone broke a
An
Chinese
amulet.
vase and it had
Yeah.
a mummy gas in it. And there it comes.
Yeah.
And they're all mummies. Glowing eyes at night and that.
Wow. Right, okay, it's 12:05 now and I really have to go. But listen, thank you everybody for showing up. Thank you for everybody who popped in and out. Thank you
Thank you
especially
for
to
having
everybody
me.
who asked questions. And again, yeah, the DMs are open, the tickets are open. If you have any ideas, questions,
Preferably
comments, concerns,
tickets because we
preferably
like to keep
tickets.
it school.
But yes, yeah, and we all want to kind of see it because like it's kind of awkward having to screenshot your DMs and send it in the fucking admin chat.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Right. I'll love yous and leave yous. And I'm stopping the stream there. But yeah, thanks everyone. Night. Night.